Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Alex. Alex is from Doncaster in England, in the UK. So let's see what Alex has to say. Enjoy the interview. So hello, Alex. How are you?
I am okay. I'm fine, thank you. How are you? You okay, William?
Very well. I'm very well. Thanks so much for taking the time this evening for the interview. Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome.
So tell me, how was your day today?
Non-eventful. Luckily, it's a day off from work, so it's been okay. Just relaxing, so it's been fine for me. Could have done with a bit of a relax, so yeah, that's fine by me.
Tell me, where are you from, Alex?
Yeah, I'm from Doncaster, so South Yorkshire, so the north of England. Just a small city.
Born and raised?
Born and raised.
Actually, I had a few guests on the show from Doncaster, actually, if I'm not wrong. Yes.
Oh, really? That's good.
So tell me something interesting about Doncaster. Tell me, if I would come to Doncaster for the very first time, what's something about that I should miss it?
Yeah, Doncaster was a mining town, so it's very well known for the mines. In terms of Doncaster, you have Cast, which is our main theatre. Also, if you know anything about One Direction, you'll know that Louis Tomlinson is from Doncaster. I actually live 3 streets away from Louis Tomlinson's house. So depending on what you're really looking for in terms of Doncaster, it's got an okay nightlife. But it's mainly known for Cast, the theatre Cast.
I see. And what do you do for work, for living, Alex?
For my day job, I work at BT. I work on the phones, the call center.
Okay. And also, I believe you're an actor as well.
I am an actor and writer, that's right.
Wow. So tell me a little bit about your career as an actor and also as a writer.
Well, I firstly got into acting when I was 7. So I started off doing amateur dramatics in Doncaster and obviously surrounding cities. And then just from there, it's something that I've always loved. So it's something that I've always pursued. So slowly, I moved. Obviously, I started my professional training at Act Up North, which is in Sheffield, led by Louisa O'Leary, who she trained in the Stanislavski method. So I first started off in that. But before then, I was obviously just doing amateur dramatics. I started off at what they call the Doncaster Little Theatre, which is still there today. Then I moved on from there, went to what we call Star Trek Theatre Academy, which was headed by an actress named Samantha. She was in the West End for quite a few years. And from standby, I then moved on to where I'm currently training, which is in Leeds. It's called Act Up North. They work with people such as, like, for example, in Liverpool, Leeds and Manchester. That's where their 3 bases are. And the people who train me, basically, there's someone that is called Dean. He's worked for the last 17 years as an actor, worked in Waterloo Road, things like that, mostly TV and film theatre. But the people who run Out of North, they actually are the people who basically set up Hollyoaks, which is a TV show which is in England.
Oh, wow. Amazing. Wow. Okay, so during the interview, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your career and also about your life overall, okay?
Yeah, cool.
Alex, before we start our journey within the Magic Box, would you like you to tell me something interesting about yourself, or maybe something that not many people know about you?
That's interesting about me. Okay, then, well, I train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, as well as also I'm very much into stage combat. So I also have a qualification in sword and rapier and dagger.
Oh, wow. I'm from Brazil, and Jiu-Jitsu in Brazil is very big.
I also know a little bit of Portuguese, but nothing. It's like,
oh, really?
But yeah, like, oi, como está? Tudo bem, meu nome é Alex. Like, there's little things like that.
Oh, wow. My God, amazing. Amazing. Alex, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Yes, certainly.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here my best friend. random fun questions, okay? I'm just gonna play a song just for us to relax before the first question, okay?
Okay.
Let's do it. Okay, so before we start the game, during the join, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay? Right, first question for you is, if you could have been a moment or event in history, which one that would be and why?
Ooh, that is actually quite a good question. I probably would say third of the century, so being able to see the coronation of Queen Victoria.
Wow, wow. Tell me, what is your, let's say, your connection with the royal family, the royal history? Are you into it? To watch?
Yeah, I don't really have much of a connection with the royal family. Like obviously being British, royal family sort of it surrounds us, but I have a very deep love of history. So like it would just be a very good historical event to see. And also Queen Victoria was probably one of the only was the longest reigning monarch. And so basically she was the person who was like, yes, you're not taking the phone. This is mine. Sort of thing. So it's just an interesting little thing about it.
Amazing, very good. Next question, let's do it. Hey Alex, next question is, what's the happiest day in your life so far and why you consider that?
Happiest day so far, really have to think about that. Would probably be the first time that I set foot on a stage, which would have been when I was very, very young, which would have been, roughly around about 7, 8 years old.
Tell me the feeling. Walk me through a little bit about this day when you were in this stage. Tell me about your emotion. How did you feel at the time?
Ecstatic. It's not really a feeling that's very easy to explain because it's just a feeling of belonging and just that electricity of being on stage, be able to interact with the audience, just the lights. It's something intoxicating, I guess, would be the best way of like sort of describing it. And for me personally, it felt like home, so that's why I love it.
And growing up, did you have the support of your family regarding your career?
To an extent, they never really stopped me from doing it, but they do not believe that filming and acting is a viable career. They all unfortunately have the mindset, which a lot of people unfortunately are, which is get a real job, which to me personally, it's really hard to explain that to people because like, okay, we can get a real job, basically just be a slave to a company, live for them, spend 40 years of my life, and then them telling me to beat it, and only having maybe 10, 15, maybe 20 years of my life to really want to do what I want to do, which is not me as a person. That just does not fly. So no, I would never do that.
I see. Okay. Next question. Let's do it. Right, before the next question, tell me, how do you see the acting career in England? Let's see, in Doncaster. When you do auditions, do you need to go to London, come to London, or to go to a bigger place like Manchester? Or for you, nowadays, with the technology, you can do casting, through Zoom, or how does it work for you in your opinion?
Well, things like Zoom is godsend. Zoom's been around for a long time, but it says Doncaster because Doncaster is kind of lucky because we are on the main line down to London. So to get to London, it's not too hard. To get to Manchester, it's not too hard. Obviously, to go to Leeds, things like that. So we have that as an advantage. The biggest disadvantage is they're not Manchester. It's not London. And a lot of casters I've come across, a lot of things that I've seen have gone London-based actor, Manchester-based actor. So they want you based in these places. Even though we have the technology in place where someone from, like for me, could film for something up in Scotland, down in Cornwall, London, like I could do that. without having to go there, which is fine. I mean, I do love in-person auditions, so it's sort of a double-edged sword. Like even with the technology we've got now, it's not as, I don't know. It's just it's not as interactive.
Yeah.
Like it's very like sort of sterile. And for me personally, like I love being in a room with someone and being able to sort of get the vibe from them and sort of be able to that sort of bounce off their energy. But then again, at the same time, it's I know why they've done it. It's for convenience, and that's also great. I have my backdrop, I have my tripod, so if I need to do a self tape, I can do self tape.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think doing audition in person, I think the energy, the emotions is I don't know, there's something about it that, you know, of course, Zoom as well. Sometimes you are in your place, you feel more comfortable with your surrounding, but being in person, I agree with you. I think it's a different vibe and you feel more, I think the emotions, it's there, you know what I mean? More intense than on Zoom for sure. Okay. Next question is, would you ever get a tattoo and what that would be?
Would I ever get a tattoo? I would get a tattoo. Obviously, I'd have to find one that I can probably cover up in terms of film work. But ironically, in the same note, saying that it would be something that would be very difficult to cover up because it would probably be like a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tattoo, so it'd be like the belt system, or it would be even like my star sign is Leo, so it's lion. So I would probably get like maybe a lion tattooed on me. Yeah, it depends. It really depends. Like I'm quite impulsive. So like if I see something that I like, that's the downside. If I ever got tattoos, I'd be like, I like that. Let's get that. And I'd probably be like, I shouldn't have got that. But yeah.
Amazing. As you mentioned about your astro sign, star sign, that's Leo. When you think about yourself, Alex, when you analyze yourself, what's the biggest joy of being Alex? What do you like the most about being you?
The biggest thing about being me, I'm charismatic. I'm determined. Like I'm someone who, if you say don't do something, I'm going to be like, I'm going to do it. And if you say you can't do something, in terms of especially with acting or writing, I will be like, watch. That's like the flames to the fire sort of thing. Like yeah, I'm a very sort of determined person, a very loving person. So that's probably some of the best qualities I have.
Amazing. Next question. Let's do it. Hey, next question is, what's your favorite holiday season of the year?
Ooh. Probably summer. I love summer. Maybe not in England. I mean, at the moment it's been very, very warm. Not the good warm, but like yeah, I like summer. Just being able to sort of just like the freshly cut grass, like that sort of smell, like that you get like in spring and summer. Like in just yeah, summer for me is something that is very bright. It's very lively. It's energetic. It's yeah, especially like if I went to like Brazil or if I went to Portugal or Spain or somewhere that's like a warm country like Turkey, like yeah, it's just nice for me. Better than winter. I don't like winter.
Do you consider yourself to be more of a day, a morning person, or evening night person?
I'm I'm a night owl. I prefer it's the night for me. Like during the morning and during the day, I don't mind it, but yeah, I'm more active. I say I'm more active at night. So yeah, I'd probably say night.
Ready for another question?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Next one. So before the next question, tell me how Jiu-Jitsu came into your life.
Well, Jiu-Jitsu came into my life because I knew some people that trained already. And to be fair, from an acting perspective, I thought, well, it's always best to sort of like learn something sort of like Jiu-Jitsu or Muay Thai, or because I did Taekwondo growing up, but like obviously being 6'4" and not being able to really like, I don't really have the flexibility for Taekwondo, but like Jiu-Jitsu came in because I came into a class and I tried out for Muay Thai firstly, and like it works great, but like as you can see, I wear glasses, so I have no real depth of perception when it comes to like people like that. So Jiu-Jitsu works well because you're up close with people. Like it's using your body for it's something that's good to try and learn. in terms of like it shows you sort of what the limit is for what you can really do with yourself, but also it sort of shows you, okay, well, you're slim or you're long limbed or anything like that, what works best for you. So yeah, it works best.
And what martial arts has taught you so far?
Probably discipline is a big thing. You have to be disciplined, especially with martial arts, especially jiu-jitsu. As they say, it's like the time on the map. So I'd probably say more than likely just, but also it's probably confidence in that as well. So yeah, discipline and confidence mainly.
Amazing. Next question is, what do you think are the best traits for a person to have?
Honesty, integrity, charisma, determination, and they would mainly be the like, top tier for me. But of course, someone has to be empathetic, caring, loving, respectful. So yeah, all of those would really work well for me when it comes to sort of describing a person, like my ideal, what someone should be like. Because especially in the world today, the world is so much full of like hate and also just conflict. So it's best sort of find someone who is, well, accepting. Like I generally don't care what someone looks like, what nationality someone is. It doesn't. It's to me, it's like a bit of a foreign concept. It's like, why do you care? Like if someone is like from a different country, or if someone speaks a different language to you, or has different religion. At the end of the day, if we all bleed red, we're all humans. So like that's where I look at it.
Amazing. Yeah, I agree with you. I think, if someone it's caring or worrying about, the other person because there's nationality or their religion or their, sexual orientation, I think people, they are not busy with their own lives. If they spend time, worrying about those other people, I think they might be a bit bored in their life. They need to kind of focus on a little bit more in their lives, I believe.
Yeah, sort themselves out because it's not needed. It's not necessary.
Absolutely. Okay. 3 questions left. Let's do it. Before the next question, tell me what's the biggest joy of acting? Yeah, when you are in stage, when we are, on studio doing your passion, you are acting, you're giving your best. Tell me the feeling when you are doing it. And the flip side, what do you find most challenging about acting career?
Okay, well, the best thing is bringing something to life. Is to be able to bring your own interpretation to a character. Like looking at me, I look very nerdy, very geeky. I tend to play like, ironically, more damaged characters that have like been through a really rough life, and I can sort of bring my own interpretation to that. Like on the flip side, I'd probably say auditioning is very, very difficult. Because auditioning it can trip you up, because with auditioning, like you can get too much in your head, you can become too much perfectionist. Like, well, I did this scene, I did this shot. Okay, you can see this in the background. Okay, I've got to redo that. Okay, I'm squinting a bit too much. Got to redo that. Like you become your own worst enemy in a way when it comes to auditioning and when it comes to like trying to find work. But in terms of obviously like the best like things for acting, it is bringing yourself to the character, bringing your interpretation, being able to bring something to life off the page. Like that's something that I love doing. Like just being immersed in that, and the whole idea of what we call the human condition, which is really making a truthful and real like character, being a person. That for me is the best part about acting.
Amazing. Next question is, which person makes you laugh the most?
Ooh, that's very difficult. Very difficult. Probably my dad. My parents are fair, but my dad is just hilarious because he's charismatic, he's witty, his sense of humor sort of like he brings everyone into the room. Like it's infectious, and it's just I don't know, it just works. Like he's very much a people person. He's very much like I get that from him. Like I'm a people person. Like I like being around people, and just I don't know, when he enters the room, like he can sort of just like sort of it's just like an infectious humor, and just that for me is
Wow. Let's say now that your dad is watching this interview right now, and you have a moment, an opportunity to send him a message. What would you say?
keep doing what you're doing. You work so hard. Like you're not appreciated enough. Like you've worked your entire life doing something that is extremely difficult. Like he works with his hands. Like he works as a builder. Like at his age, like he shouldn't have to do that, but unfortunately he does, and he doesn't complain about things like that. He just gets on with it. Like he's a very, I guess in that respect, stereotypical British guy where it's like, what's something I gotta do? I'm gonna do it.
Wow, beautiful. I can see him smiling right now. Listen to your beautiful words. Oh, sweet. 2 questions left. Let's do it. Next question is, 2020 when the world went upside down, yeah? Tell me something that, during that time, what have you learned? Something positive or a lesson that you've learned through that challenging time?
Not to rely too much on other people, to sort of like rely on yourself and sort of go, well, especially in terms of like filming, because obviously filming did go to pot during the COVID situation. But also something positive out of it is sort of to be inventive, to sort of like be willing to go with the ideas that you have. Like at the moment, I'm currently writing quite a few short films, just trying to just get myself some work through that. Because obviously at the moment, work is still very hard to get. I mean, it's hard anyway to get work in the industry, but since COVID, like it's still, in my opinion, hasn't recovered.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, like, just trying to be able to make your own creative sort of like outputs, be it films, be it whatever it might be. I feel that's it's both a positive and a negative, because like, yeah, but we move on. We get through it. Like people looked at COVID, especially within our industry. People looked at COVID and went, that's it. We're kind of done. Like they like I first joined my day job during COVID, so I saw, especially from a technological perspective, just how it damaged our industry. Like I had people on the phone that were, ironically, I remember there was one customer who's from the BBC, and they were a writer and they were a producer and they were from the BBC, and their broadband had gone down. They could not get a script out, which had a very, very tight deadline. And if they couldn't do that, their job they'd just leave the job. Like they could just get someone, they'll find someone who can do it, like who could do it when they couldn't. Like, so you have to like just see it from that perspective, and just how the world itself it revolves around technology. It revolves around interacting with people. Taking that away from people, human race didn't really like that very much.
Yeah, it's interesting you saying that, and I'm getting back to 2020. My God, it feels like, I remember during the time, I felt like it would never change, you know what I mean? It would be living with that, but actually we are back to normal again. Like, we don't hear anymore those, restrictions, that have in the past. And my God, it's, and at the time I will think to myself, my God, it's gonna take years and years for us to go back to normal again. And we are here. You know what I mean? The world is open, everything is back to normal again. I mean, to normal. There's also something behind, but it feels like before. Yeah. Last question, ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Last question. You like dancing?
Yeah, I do dance. I used to dance. I used to do break dancing many years ago, and street dance and things like that. But I haven't done that in quite a long time.
Right. Before the last question, let's do something now. Let's pretend that you're gonna you know, you have the biggest budget in the world, that you are creating like a scene or a movie, that you can choose anyone to be your father. You can pay anyone in the world, any actor, anyone to pay to be your mother, anyone to be your romantic partner, and the last part is you can choose anyone to be the director, to be the producer, to put all together. So tell me who those people would be.
Well, definitely in terms of directing, it would be either Christopher Nolan, just because he's an amazing director. He knows how to get the best out of his actors. He just the projects that he's made, amazing. Or Steven Spielberg. So I think it'd have to be like two. I think it'd have to be like co-director, like a second AD, things like that. In terms of playing my father or playing my mother, that's very, very difficult. Probably in terms of playing my mother, would probably be either Meryl Streep or Helen Mirren.
Wow.
Because they bring so much to the character. Like they're in my opinion, they're just flawless in terms of like their performance. And playing my dad is going to be very, very difficult. Probably ironically, I'd probably look at someone like David Jason, because just his comedy timing and just his like how he can bring something like a persona to life works really well. But also, I'd probably say either him or Daniel Day-Lewis, because Daniel Day-Lewis brings a real raw intensity to a character, and put him in a room with my dad for like, I don't know, a couple of weeks, and I think I'm going to see a second version of my dad, which would be quite scary, but yeah, quite interesting. In terms of my love interest, I'd probably I'm looking at actresses that I really revere. Not Amanda Bynes. What's her name? See, I know her face, but I've not seen her in a lot of things actually. Probably Amanda Seyfield. Or there's an actress that I've seen quite recently who's Australian, and so I'd probably look at her, which is Nicole Kidman, just because Nicole Kidman. In the words of what is it in Linda? Like she's just like I
love Nicole Kidman. I think every movie I watch Nicole Kidman, I see her. She literally, I see her as the character she's playing. You know what I mean? Sometimes you watch a movie, you see your favorite actor, actress. Somehow you know it's them, but with Nicole Kidman, she literally makes me get into her character, and I believe that she's exactly that person. I forget about Nicole Kidman. It's interesting when I'm watching her. You're talking about Meryl Streep. Actually, I've met Meryl Streep. I've been in a bedroom, just me and Meryl Streep once. Yes.
Wow.
In a bedroom, just me and Meryl Streep, and I'll tell you how. I was working in a hotel a few years ago in London, and the BAFTAs, the award. And actually, it was the time when she was promoting The Devil Wears Prada, and she was in London for the event, and I didn't know. And I was doing room service at the time, and I remember I arrived to work, and my manager said, "Oh, William, can you take this tray to room 112?" I remember the room number 112. I was like, "Oh yes, of course." So I took the tray, and I saw the card with the name, and it wasn't Mary. It actually was Miss Gummer. Actually, this is her real marriage name, and it was written in the card. So I was ready to say, "Good morning, Miss Gummer." So I rang the bell, and suddenly Meryl Streep opened the door, and I was like, "Hello, good morning, Mrs. Gummer." And she said, "Oh, please come in." And I was walking with the tray, and she was walking behind me. And in my head, I was like, "Oh my God, I'm here in this bedroom right now, and Meryl Streep is just walking behind me. Oh my God." So I went to the living room, and I put the tray on the table, the side table, and she sat down, and I asked her to sign the bill, and I was looking at her, and I just couldn't believe. I was like, my goodness, how is possible for me to be here, just me and Meryl Streep? I couldn't believe. So it's a moment in my life that I'm never gonna forget. That it's I mean, it doesn't happen every day that we're in a bedroom just you and Meryl Streep. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
So it's it's a life story memory that's always gonna have dear to my heart, and I could never believe. I was like, oh my god! And I remember when I left the bedroom, I was like, my world just stopped for a minute. I was like, oh my god, how that's happened just right now? I was like in shock. But anyway, it was an experience with Meryl Streep for sure. Last question. Last question for you is: what bores you?
Oof, a lot of things bore me. To be fair, just in terms of like just generally would be doing the same thing every single day would just bore me to death. Would bore me to tears, as you say in England. Like I like to try different things. I like to sort of get out there and see different things. So that for me would just be boring. But also, I don't know. If something doesn't catch my eye, it doesn't technically bore me. But it's like I'd probably say, yeah, just monotony. Monotony bores me. Like just not being able to like just go out there and try different things and see different things, and like every day being the same is just for me would just be a grey day. You just would just be like, well, what's really the point? Because I'm doing the exact same thing. It's like that old quote where it's like you do the exact same thing over and over again, except a different result. It's insanity. Like it's that in a nutshell. Like I'm not someone who can sort of be bottled up in a certain like place. Like I like to sort of just get out there and make memories.
You are a proper artist, yeah. Artist, they definitely. Right, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game, okay? I'm going to give away some words. Just the one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Let's start with money.
Money, opportunity.
Fear.
Ocean.
Family.
Everything.
Life.
Goals.
Love.
Loss.
Religion.
Not necessary.
Okay. Sex.
Passion.
Politics.
Stupid.
Friendship.
Needed.
Desire.
Desire. Ooh, that's hard. I had the word in my head, and I just lost it. Probably, I'd have to say the same word, needed.
Okay. Regrets.
Forget.
Success.
Hope.
Okay. Wish.
Wish. Follow.
Okay. Happiness.
Ordinary.
One word for jiu-jitsu.
Painful.
One word.
Give it a hook, you know about it.
For sure. One word for Doncaster.
Promising.
England, one word.
Patriarchy.
And the last one now, acting.
Life.
Amazing. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your best friend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your best friend. Define Alex in one positive word and one negative word only. What your best friend would say?
Oh, determined for the positive word, and negative. Probably. Well, it's not even one word. That's the problem. For one word, would probably be. Focused. I tend to be too focused on certain things, but yeah.
Did you always have long hair, Alex, or not?
I did not always have long hair. I used to have quite short hair. but my hair is like curly. So as I grew older, it just came out.
Yeah.
And so I decided to explore a film role actually a couple of years ago, quite a few years ago now. I had to have long hair. And I sort of like, I guess it was a little lazy of me. I was like, I couldn't be bothered to cut it. So I just let it grow. And now it's sort of like the mess that you see before you, which I will get sorted out. But like, yeah, my hair's always been sort of like curly, but sort of like thick. My hair's not naturally thick; it's quite thin. So me having it short, sort of like, especially as I got on older, sort of like it to me didn't look as good. So I just kept it long. But now it's getting a bit too long, so I think it's due a cut.
I think you're correct. Actually, I think it gives you, that it fits your like you the long hair. There's something about having long hair that it suits well. I think it's a great. Good on. Let's play now, Alex and the Magic Box. You can ask me a question. All right, you can ask me a question now.
What got you into this line of work? What made you want to do this?
Amazing, great question. Back to the conversation before about 2020 when the world went upside down. Before that, I was already thinking about doing something on YouTube where I could connect with people, where I could express myself, but I didn't know what I could do. Those moments in your life that you want to do something, but you don't know what to start or how to do it, because I know, YouTube, you can see so many creativity people there. There's so many, shows, podcasts, things happening there. And I just want to do something different, something that I could be myself, that I could express the way I am, express like being me, but I didn't know what. I remember the first idea actually was something about music, because I love music. And I had the whole thing in my mind, and I opened up with a friend of mine, he's a musician, and I said, I have this project in my mind about music. And he was like, oh my God, William, you cannot use other people's song in a channel, live. They're gonna cut, they're gonna stop your channel. Oh my God. Anyway, so I kept thinking, what can I do? What's something that I can be myself? 2020, March 2020, I went for a run in the park. Remember, you could leave the house once a day for exercise at the time? So I went for a run in the park, and guess what? This idea came along, Alex. I remember the place. I remember exactly the moment where I was running, because I stopped for a minute and I was like, oh my God, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create some questions. I'm going to, research some questions, and I'm going to invite random people around the globe to see what they think about it. So that's how I started the show. So I had the idea around March, more or less. In June, I started doing the interviews. And in October, I launched the show. So when I launched the show, I have like over 100 interviews already done. Can you imagine? I had so many interviews already recorded. So yeah, that's how it started, literally in a run in the park. I was running the park and this idea came along. Saying that, as a teenager, even before I started doing the show, I was already doing that. When I look back, I remember like back in school, growing up back in Brazil, when I was, with my friends, my colleague at the time, I was like, oh, who was your favorite teacher? Tell me your favorite color. I was already doing that. You know what I mean? When I look back, I was already doing this kind of interaction with people, even as an adult as well. When I was going on holidays with friends, there's always a moment that was like, oh, so tell me what was the most interesting thing about your childhood? Who was your best friend at the time? So I was interacting already, you know what I mean? So this show is all about that. I was already, it's funny because I was trying to do something, trying to find the idea, but it was already here. You know what I mean? I just need to explore a little bit more. And yeah, that's how everything started, the show. Yeah.
That's great. It's great that you do it, and I'm glad that you do it, and keep doing it.
Thank you so much. It's interesting to be connected with so many amazing people like you around the world. People expressing themselves, sharing their memories, and it's great. I think I feel the best when I'm here recording. I forget that I'm recording because I just feel myself like I love being here. Did you enjoy the interview?
I did enjoy the interview, William.
Thanks so much. Thanks for taking the time. Thanks for being so open and talking about your life overall. Okay. But before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Don't worry about what people say. what people's opinions of you is none of your business. Do what you want to do what you love, focus on it, and hopefully one day you will make it a reality.
Absolutely. Keep going. Keep going, keep going. That's the main thing. Never stop, you know? It's gonna be up and down, but just keep going. You never know when you're gonna get. Thanks so much. Regards to your family, to your dad and your friends, and you keep in touch. Okay, it was a pleasure having you on the show. Okay, Alex?
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Thanks very much.
Take care.
Have a good night.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.